All right, guys, welcome to the show. We are talking Week 8 DFS, giving you all the optimal plays for daily fantasy Week 8 at each position to help you guys with your DraftKings and FanDuel lineups. This show is brought to you by mybookie.ag. Head on over there right now. Use promo code FFC and enhance that game watching experience. That's mybookie.ag, guys. There's also a code here on the screen you can use. Takes you right there. Mybookie.ag. Use promo code FFC, guys. FFC for Fantasy Football Counselor, and enhance that game watching experience. This is the site I use, mybookie.ag, promo code FFC. Go enhance that game watching experience. All right, so let's dive into the optimal plays here at each position. If you are new to the channel, make sure you guys do click subscribe. And of course, leave a comment below. Let me know which optimal players you'll be drafting this week for daily fantasy. This is also going to help you guys with your starts and sits as well. So make sure you guys pay close attention. Let's dive into this. Now, if you haven't checked out also my episode, just did an episode with that super fan that caught that ball or was handed that Tom Brady $500,000 ball. Make sure you guys go back an episode, listen to that great interview with Byron Kennedy. He's been going through a lot of, celebrity type status stuff over the past few days since that experience with Tom Brady and that 600th pass. So make sure you guys check that out. All right, so let's talk about this. Optimal players at each position. Let's start off with the quarterback position. I'm going to rip through this. Teddy Bridgewater, 15 points last week. Got an optimal matchup versus Washington. He's been safe and consistent at best. Daniel Jones coming off an 18-point week. He does have an easy matchup versus KC. KC's been on a bit of a decline. They'll bounce back this week. Sam Darnold, I wouldn't trust him. He's got an easy matchup, though, versus Atlanta. I mean, he could bounce back, but I'm not taking the chance after what happened last week. Not a good week. Carson Wentz, great matchup. Josh Allen, Kirk Cousins, Jalen Hurts, Matt Stafford, all great matchups. The value there would probably be Carson Wentz at $5,700. If you want to play it safe, go Josh Allen versus Miami. Got yourself a solid quarterback. Also, again, Matt Stafford versus Houston, also great. Jalen Hurts, great. All great matchups. Like I said, Cousins, Hurts, Wentz, all these guys, great matchups. But Josh Allen is your safest premium quarterback, okay? Matt Ryan's also got a good matchup. He's been consistent. He's playing Carolina, all right? Kyler Murray, if you guys are asking, he's got a mid-range matchup. Moving on to the running back position here. When we're talking optimal plays here, James Robinson, $6,600, pretty expensive, but he's been consistent. He's coming off a bye. Again, good matchup versus Seattle. Darrell Henderson, good value, $6,500. Consider starting him. If you are considering Derrick Henry, he does have the sixth hardest matchup versus position. Be cautious with Derrick Henry. But again, he's been consistent as they come. He is playing Indy's rush defense. They'll play him a little bit tougher. Dalvin Cook, ninth hardest matchup versus position. Be cautious with him. Austin Eckler, mid-range matchup, playing New England. Najee Harris, who's been consistent, seventh hardest matchup. So Najee, Derrick Henry, Dalvin Cook, Austin Eckler, and even Jonathan Taylor, who's got the 10th hardest matchup versus position, have it in tough this week. Again, they're starters for year long. You have to start them. But for DFS, I'm telling you, they do have tougher matchups. Like I said, the values here are Joe Mixon's got an easy matchup versus the Jets. James Robinson, Darrell Henderson are your guys that have optimal matchups, and you can get them for slightly cheaper from some of those premium guys I mentioned. Alex Collins, also value at $5,300. You may want to consider him. Alvin Kamara's got a tough matchup. Be cautious with him. He is $8,700 as well, so very expensive. So I've given you guys some value. Another value play here for you, plug him in your lineups at $5,000, is Kenneth Gainwell, okay? Moving on to wide receivers. Again, this is where I like to take some risks. This is where, I don't mind, going for those budget guys, and we'll go over a couple of those budget guys, okay? Understand Cooper Kupp's got it in tough this week. He is playing Houston secondary, but Cooper Kupp, he's been as consistent as they come, and he is expensive, $9,000. Be aware of that. Tyreek Hill, mid-range matchup, $8,300, very expensive. Justin Jefferson, $8,200, very expensive, but a great matchup. Thumbs up for Justin Jefferson. Great matchup. Stephon Diggs, great matchup versus Miami. I love Stephon Diggs. You're going to be paying for it, $8,100. I wouldn't mind plugging him in with a couple more value guys, which I'll go over. Jamar Chase, who's been red hot. He is playing the Jets secondary. They tend to play wide receivers a little tougher. He's got a harder position, but he should get the volume, stay consistent. Jamar Chase, you are paying $7,500 for him, okay? Adam Thielen, Great matchup, similar to Jefferson, but better value. You're only paying $7,000 compared to Jefferson, where you'd be paying $8,200. I like the Thielen value. Deontay Johnson, great matchup versus Cleveland secondary, only $6,700. I'm plugging him into my DFS lineups with confidence, okay? Julio Jones can't be trusted, but does have a good matchup. Devonta Smith coming off some mediocre weeks the past couple weeks, 11 points last week, 5 points the week before. Playing Detroit, great matchup, must-win situation for Philly. Devonta Smith is a plug-in for $5,500. Love him. Michael Pittman coming off a hot week, looking great with Carson Wentz in the rain, putting up 24 points. $5,300 on DraftKings. Great value. Michael Pittman Jr. You definitely want to consider, okay? I'm trying to see if there's any other good value plays. I mean, Hopkins has been safe at best. He's got a mid-range matchup. Nothing to get excited about. Chase Claypool could be in for a breakout game. He's got a good matchup as well. And that's pretty much it there. Yeah, I'd go with the guys I mentioned, okay, guys? Stick with that. All right, tight ends here. With tight end, again, I always try to get a consistent tight end. Kelsey, but you're going to pay $7,500, mid-range matchup. Hawkinson, who's been safe at best the past couple weeks, 11 points last week, 15 the week before. Got the 10th easiest matchup versus position against Philly. I would consider Hawkinson, but $5,400, not bad. Could be a little cheaper for DraftKings. CJ Uzuma, easy matchup for Uzuma, only $3,700 this week. Coming off a great big 24-pointer last week. Consider Uzuma at $3,700. I think you should be good to go. I like Pitts at $6,300, but he's got a mid-range matchup, not as easy as the Uzuma match there. You may want to consider him. If you want a super value play at $3,600, Pat Freiermuth, tight end for the Steelers. You may want to consider him. 13 points last week. The weeks prior, not the greatest. But with Juju being gone, they may rely on him in the end zone, maybe a couple more passes there. Now, this guy's got a tough matchup, but he's been pretty consistent. Mo Alley Cox, believe it or not, 12 points last week, 10 the week before, 8 the week before that. As safe as they get. Safe and boring. Very touchdown dependent, but $3,200 if you want a tight end there that's got some good value. All right. Best defense to start. Let's talk about some defenses to start. Love the Rams. Love the Rams versus Houston this week. Bengals versus Jets. Great opportunity for the Bengals to put up some points there. 49ers versus Chicago. We saw how poorly Chicago's been doing. 49ers could have an opportunity to put up some serious fantasy points. Love Buffalo versus Miami. Chargers versus New England. And, I think that's pretty much the ones I feel good about. Then you've got other considerations like Panthers versus Atlanta, Giants versus KC, Falcons versus Carolina, Seahawks versus Jacksonville, Eagles versus Detroit. So there is some other options there. But again, the ones I really like, Rams. I like, again, Bills. I like Chargers, and possibly the 49ers are kind of the feel-good picks of the week at defense, okay? Now, again, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys do subscribe. I do a full preview show tomorrow. Going to be talking about all the matchups, the spreads, all that fun stuff. And Friday, we're going to be talking starts and sits, more detail. The guys that have the crappy matchups, so make sure you guys are tuned in for that. And if you are new to the channel, guys, I promote manscaped.com. Use promo code SHOWERLINE. Save yourself 20%. Go treat yourself right now. SHOWERLINE is the code at manscaped.com. Amazing products. Go check them out. And finally, go back and check that episode with Byron Kennedy, the guy that was handed the $500,000 Tom Brady football. Great interview. Go check it out. Subscribe, guys. Thumbs up. We'll talk soon. I'm out.